Good morning, Fanatics. Welcome to Flow with the Markets Wednesday this time. So we are just tuning in. We are 43 minutes into London Open on Wednesday. So again, the aim of this video is to have a look at how Monday opened, have a look at how Tuesday opened as well, and potentially try to update the analysis that we do on Saturday. Because as I always say on those videos, the market opens, it can do something completely opposite to what we thought it could do. And then of course, the biggest skill you can have as a trader is to flow with the markets and flow with the most recent market structure. So this video is very quick, very raw. I just jump on the charts, no transitions, no nothing, no preparation. We just have a look at the market. And of course, I'm gonna try to give you a bias for the rest of the week, or of course for today. So of course, without further ado, let's just roll the intro and we get into it. Alright, as always, we're gonna get started with the Dixie, but before we do that, of course, make sure that you are checking your economic calendar. This morning we started with a CPI for the GBP and also PPI, and also retail, no, that's retail price index, not retail sales. So quite a couple of news for the pound. This morning we had a huge spike on the 50-minute time frame and some manipulation going on. The highlight of today is Mr. Powell testifying, right? And then of course we have German president speaking. The German Bubas president speaking. Then of course we have a couple of other speeches. For Thursday, it's a GBP week this week, Swiss franc as well. A lot of USD news as well. Another testimony from Mr. Powell, consumer confidence for the euro, very, very important. And Friday also we can see some red news. So of course the market is starting to pick up. I personally did not trade on Monday and Tuesday as I was traveling for birthday and I didn't have actually the internet. So this is the first day I'm actually stepping into the market, analyzing them and seeing what is happening. But just having a brief look this morning and also having a brief look from the phone when I could. We had a bank holiday, by the way, on Monday. So, and yesterday wasn't really amazing, nothing much clear so far. But of course, right now we're going to get into the market and see what is happening. So my projection on the Dixie, of course, is still going on. So what I expected is the market opened right here. I was expecting a potential pullback, then of course a kind of a trend change, probably on the 15-minute. And then of course we can start going down. So as you can see right now, we came up above the 50%, but then again, the question we have to ask is, okay, is this pullback enough in order to cause the market to reverse lower? Well, of course, that's a tough question, and of course, it depends on liquidity. Has enough liquidity been gathered on this high in order to push the market down? Well, I don't think so. If you actually have a look at it, like internal structure, broke up, and like this is the last internal demand. This is, again, guys, not major high, major low, and that is our major supply right there, which is quite far away. We're probably not going to come all the way up to retest it, but still we are bearish. And what we're currently doing is probably filling in all of that imbalance right here. All right, so is it ready to go down? Could be, right? Could be. I don't think so, but of course we can start rolling down. How do we know that we're going to start rolling down? Well, of course, we have to see some 15-minute bearish flow, some 15-minute structure, bearish order flow, whatever you like to call it, right? Our high was here. What caused that our high? It was this guy right there. And as you can see, we formed a 50-minute TC. Excuse me, it's actually this one right there, just looking at it. So that is the 50-minute TC again, according to my valid ranges. Broke down. And then, of course, you can see we started chopping. So kind of broke down, then broke up. And right now, it's actually pretty hard. There was a trend change right here. There was a gap as well. Then, of course, it pushed up, it pulls back, higher low formation. Then it came in right there, made a higher high. And what caused that higher high? Well, it's pretty much this big sell to buy right here. And yeah, technically, we're still trading below, between this low and that high. And it's choppy. I mean, yeah, just look at it. Not clear. Also, EURUSD is not clear at all. We started like Monday went down, nice bullishness. Tuesday went down and went back up, and right now we're again chopping in the middle. So not so clear, not so great. I do believe we can have some more upside because again, I really don't think this high is gonna be the major high because again, has enough liquidity being grabbed? Has the market pulled back enough? Well, of course, there is not really a very systematic way of finding this. Okay, but personally, this is why I always used to use like supply and demand zones, because then you know, okay, the market is pulling back towards its major lower high, it's retesting supply. It's, if there is a supply, it's usually going to be above 50%, like in this case, so then you have more probability to go short. So as of right now, I am gonna withstand from throwing any bias, but I would say that potentially we can maybe head into the longs to take out this high, grab some more liquidity, and then of course then from there start seeing like a 50-minute bearish TC and going down. If not, then of course wait for bearishness, and then we keep flowing with the market like this. Okay, so that's pretty much the Dixie. Let's have a look at EU. My dogs are going crazy again. Daily time frame. So EU again, damn those dogs. We broke below the liquidity, we filled in the last imbalance, right? And since then we have been pushing up, right? Okay, just waited for it to get a bit quieter. So we came in, we grabbed all the liquidity, we grabbed the structural liquidity, we filled in the imbalance, and right now again the overall macro bias is that we go up. And as you can see right now on the daily, we're already having 2 candles of pullback, which signifies that there is some sort of a pullback. If you have a look at this little imbalance right there, that is the daily imbalance. It has been filled like let me just see, right, because those are my lines right there. That's the forecast, which is going pretty good so far. As you can see, the imbalance is pretty much filled towards the 50%. Okay, but then the big question comes in, is that enough? Is this pullback enough in order to push the market up and for us to target that next liquidity target? Well, again, we don't know. There is no demand on the left. If I just take like a 50% like this, we haven't even pulled back below 50%. Not to say that the daily range low could either be this one or it can even be this one. So we have quite some space to pull back to the downside. And what I also had a look at this morning is that, of course, we also have this little 4-hourly imbalance right there. So again, the big question we have to ask ourselves right now is this a potential higher low that is going to push us into the highs? Could be, because we broke structure down right there, broke another structure down. So technically right now, this is our major lower high. So we actually made a little bit of a downtrend, but look at how it kind of made it. Compressed right there as well. A little bit of an up and down right there, probably some sort of news. But then, of course, dropping on the 50-minute, of course, looking in hindsight, I mean, you could have taken a short right there, riding it to the downside. Then, of course, we start chopping. On Tuesday, it broke up. It pulls back into this valid range that calls the break. It's not this candle, it's this sell to buy. Tapped in, pushed up, and then since then we shifted down. So maybe take a short right there. It's moving nicely, but I don't think exactly according to my strategy, it's not really providing clear setups. This morning, so what I told my team is that we are currently having, just again to make it simple, we're having a break of structure down there. There is a break up, trend change down, break up, trend change down right here. So again, just trying not to waste too much time and just give you straight the analysis, right? So we broke down, and then of course we're in this pullback. But of course, when you start thinking about liquidity, you first ask the question, okay, are we bearish right now? Well, we are of course bullish. Right now we're in a pullback mode. Look at the pullback. It's super choppy, super sloppy, right? And right now what we did on the market open is we took out the Asian low. So is the probability high to go short right now? Not really, okay? So I'm very happy I actually stepped away from taking a short, because just right now we got a 15-minute TC, right? So this was pretty much the last supply that the market was having before this break. The market pulls back. It kind of tried to give so many entries. Like if you go on the 1 minute, like there's an entry here, there's an entry there, there's an entry here, and you could even get an entry right there. And as you can see, we just came in, took out that high, and right now look at the reaction. So right now liquidity is taken on the buy side. I really wish to see the Asian high get taken as well. But right now, of course, the problem is we have to wait for some sort of a trend change, and which preferably for me is the 15-minute. Because again, right now there is a trend change. So then of course I ask the question, what's the valid higher low that caused the break? It's this one. So of course we can also go higher. So when it comes to macro bias, it's still a little bit 50-50 for me. Again, I cannot conclude if the market is going to go down to fill in more imbalance and pull back more, or if it's right now getting ready for a push up. Okay, so let's see, guys. Let's see. This is currently my outlook. Again, I did not take a short right there because of liquidity. Right now we took out the high. So if we eventually take out this low, come back for a retest in New York, then I will be looking for shorts. Okay, but of course right now, if it comes in right there and starts giving a long setup, that is also possible because we're going to be flowing with the most recent ranges. So let's see. Once again, I really don't like it when it's 50-50, and usually when it's 50-50 you try to step aside. So that's EU. Not feeling it, not the best. So what we see with EJ, let's see. So we either had a pullback and a push up, or a deeper pullback and a push up. Well, kind of the pullback was exactly in the middle between, no, pretty much it's that one. Well, yeah. So let's not look at the lines, right? Let's just look at what happened, not try to be perfect. Here we came in and it looks like we kind of swept a little bit of liquidity. Come on. We swept a little bit of liquidity, right? But again, according to me, like before I started observing liquidity grabs, that would have been a break. And then I asked the question, okay, what actually caused this break? That's tough because that was, here we had this bearish candle, was the last pullback before we broke on the next candle. And technically, it's really unclear. But that is going to be like a trend change down. And then, of course, your supply will be within this week or within that candle. So you can see technically right now, when it comes to structure, we are bearish. But what the market did is it pulled us back a little bit on the daily, right? Just one candle. You can see that there was some sort of an imbalance right there. Filled in more than 50%. On the 4H, what I also saw is that we have a little bit of imbalance right there. Filled it, not towards the 50%, but still filled something. And then since then, we have been spending higher. So what I can actually start expecting right now is that we could break this hourly high based on that macro bullish bias, okay? And as you can see here, the market dropped. It had a massive range. This is where we made the trend change to bullish. The market pulls back, didn't really tap into a zone to take a long trade. Pushed up, pulls back again. Do you take a long here? Well, I don't know. It's too early for me. Pushes up, pulls back, and pushes up again. This looks like the last break, and pretty much that big thing is our last demand zone. So looking at the overall macro things when it comes to Euro Yen, of course, I would expect longs. Right now, we are tapping into a forward supply that is actually valid, so we can get like a couple of shorts before it aligns for longs again. But similar to EU, if you pull back right there and give a 1 minute long setup, definitely take it. If it makes a trend change, then take a couple of shorts, target like the Asian low, for example, and then maybe tomorrow we can get the longs, because I do think based on the hard time frames, we could be heading higher. Right, the quality time frame made a little bit of a pullback. It pulled back. Let's see if this is the last range. It pulled back below 50%. You can see just pinged it, and it's heading for the highs right now. So let's see. Overall bullish on Euro Yen, but of course we gotta wait for the setup. And this is my scenarios for today. Aussie dollar. Let's check it out. Yo, look at this. So this one, of course, on the macro bias. What did we have here? We're tapping inside supply, and then I was doing this gap right there of imbalance. The market filled it, it reacted, but then it just started rolling. So yeah, you can see I was expecting short at first, right? And then of course to look to see what's gonna happen right there. When I drew a line like this, it's usually saying let's see what's gonna happen, not really longing it, right? And you can see we just massively plummeted because we also had quite some news for the Aussie. So yeah, technically right now the last, I mean, is this a liquidity grab? Is it a break? Like that's the pretty much that's the question. You can see we broke, we already pulled back, and right now we're starting to head towards the lows with this very nice bearish candle. Looks like it wants to head to take out the low. And if you just jump on a 50-minute time frame, the market kind of went up. This was a break, so that was the low that caused the break. We have a trend change to the downside. What caused the trend change? Well, it's pretty much this high right here, but you don't really want to refine it like this. You maybe want to take like a 30-minute zone. Yeah, 30-minute zone is fine. I would even take like an hourly zone like this. So yeah, this one is probably traveling towards the low right there, but I don't see any setups on it because it just broke and it just started flushing lower. Okay, so right now what you can have is a break, retest, and a continuation. But if it comes in and takes out the low, then be careful because this is a massive liquidity grab. That's the hourly low, right? And if the hourly low gets broken, what happens? You initiate a pullback. Okay, so again, be careful. The Aussie, I mean, yesterday or Monday went up, TC down, very big chop, right? Then the news came in, massive drop. So on that day, if you take any shorts, then that's fine right here for this sort of continuation. right? And today, let's see how it plays out. I'm short biased, but of course, try to take a short before the low gets broken. If the low gets broken, then of course you can start looking for the pullback. Then of course this is going to be your major hourly lower high, and then of course you can wait for a pullback, TC down again, and then a push down. Okay, so that's my scenarios for the Aussie, and Aussie Yen is probably bearish as well. Yeah, you can see I was looking for bullishness. That is not a hourly valid range though, not this as well. So technically the last hourly low was this, but then we wicked it and we pushed up. So technically it's actually, this should be the guy that is the last valid low. Not very clear because it was that one, we broke up, but then the market came and wicked and then it broke. So then technically it's this one, right? So if you actually want to draw a valid PD range, there it is. 50% up, we're getting a reaction. We took out this low as potential liquidity. We are filling in that imbalance as well. So is it time we go up? Well, we don't know because the market is still technically bullish on AJ, by the way, as I told you. That's the current range, pulling back. So technically hourly is bullish. So it's just filling in imbalance. But right now, as you can see, like we came in right there. We made a 50-minute TC. That's the last break up, 50-minute TC down. And there is a short that you're just being offered. So is this a high probability short? Not really, because what I want to see for a short first is, let's say, for the Asian high to get taken, right? And then for us to start going down. But right now what happened is the Asian low got taken, so sell side liquidity is taken, and then we can start heading higher. So this is when usually the trade doesn't work out. We came in, grabbed the liquidity, and actually there is a breakup here. There is a trend change down right there. So you could be sniping this trade right there. 4 stop loss, pretty good. Reached 2R, came in for a break even. Of course, if you close it, not, I don't know, right? Maybe a break even, broke down again. So right now we can definitely go break even. So let's see how this one plays out. But again, just based on liquidity taking out the Asian low, we could expect for the high to be taken. But yeah, the detail on AJ is that it's too bullish on the 4H. So unlike AU, that is just actually shifted bearish on the 4H, right? This one is too bullish. So if you get longs, then of course you're going to be trading with the macro time frame. And not only that, but there was like that massive gap right there. It got filled to the 50%. If I just take like a fib, right there it is, got filled 50%. So there is a lot of confidence for this market to start going up. So again, wait for a clear 50-minute trend to the upside, 50-minute trend change. And then of course you can start taking longs with the hourly bias. But of course we can also head towards the lows. So be careful. Again, just breaking down the market, it's a bit tricky this week. So this one, yeah, this one is similar to the Aussie, right? I was looking for either a breakup and a continuation or for a pullback and a continuation, but no. The market opened and it just broke down. And yeah, because usually the NZDs are going together with the Aussies. The Aussie went down, NZD also went down, broke down. What is the valid range that caused this breakdown? It's this. This right there is a valid range. Immediately got retested, continued going forward, downwards, I mean. But yeah, this is still our valid lower high right here. So it's pulling back to the 50%. This is going to go short. Is it going to start going long? Daily time frame. Well, the daily is still bearish. That was the problem on the dailies. That is still bearish and everything is balanced right now. So we're going to be needing some sort of a push somewhere, right? Dropping on the 50-minute, well, again, you can see we started bullish, then we went down, we made a 50-minute trend change. So similar to everything else, 50-minute trend change. What caused it? It's pretty much the high in this case, but you can, of course, take something like this if you wish, like a bigger zone, like a 30-minute zone, let's just say. And yeah, it's currently bearish until we form like a new range, which is going to be either a breakdown and then something like this, or a TC up and then a continuation higher. Okay, so again, guys, a little tip from this video that you can extract: if the market breaks an Asian low or Asia high, that is a very strong liquidity grab. So if you then of course try to go in the direction of the liquidity grab, doesn't work great. So right now, as it broke Asian low, right, if you try to short, doesn't work great because usually it's gonna go on and take out the Asian high. So that's what I've spotted recently, and it's a little strategy by itself. Like took out Asian low, go long, took out Asian high, go short, of course. But you want to merge this with the macro bias, which of course right now, to me personally, just being extremely honest, it is unclear. Okay, this one is bearish right now on the 4H, similar to like the Aussie. The Aussie is also bearish, but NJ is bullish. The NZD USD is bearish, but this one is probably bullish. Yep, look at that. right? Pulls back, fills in the imbalance, taps inside, gives a beautiful reaction. And again, I have indicated that we can be looking for longs right there. So again, you can see the JPYs are looking pretty good for longs. Tapped in all the way down. Tapped in all the way down. Where's the trend change? Let's check it out. Yep. That's the valid one. TC up. Pulls back, higher low, higher high. Here, kind of wicked up, wicked down. So it's technically bearish right now. Yes, exactly the same as AJ. Technically bearish, pulls back, and right now gives you a short trade. But again, as I just showed you, like on AJ, not very high probability because again, like the 4-hourly is bullish. So we can get like a little retracement right now. Then what I would expect is for the market to pop up, retest, and then of course you can continue going higher. So again, with the NZDs, I mean with the JPY, sorry, they are looking pretty bullish. So if you start getting any bullishness on those pairs, then of course you can definitely look for longs. And this is probably caused by UJ, which is, yes, look at that, right? We gave a little pullback. So what happened first? Okay, so we first actually came in and we took out a high, and then we took out the low on the 4H, and right now we're going on to take out the high. So you can see sometimes we make a trend change down just to fill in some imbalance, to grab some liquidity, and right now it starts heading higher. So yeah, we can see that the JPYs are bullish because UJ is also pretty bullish. There is the last break on UJ. That is the last valid range, although we kind of have this massive wick right there, and it's probably headed towards that hard high. So as I said on another pair, if you can catch a long trade before it breaks the high, and I think the short trade was on AJ, was it? No? Oh yeah, it was on AU. So yeah, this doesn't have much correlation. Yeah. So if you can catch like a long trade before that high gets taken, that's great. But if the high gets taken, then that is a massive liquidity gap. And we also have this. Oh, did this high of liquidity get taken? Let's check it out. Maybe it's equals. I don't know, right? So there is a lot of liquidity resting above this high. So if the quality comes in and takes it, then try not to take too much longs, because then of course we can initiate a pullback, right? Initiate a pullback and then of course continue higher. So that's UJ bullish, causing the JPYs also to be bullish. What's happening here with UCAD, my favorite pair, you know, guys? Well, it kind of retested, went down, but then still it kind of went up, and it's filling in the imbalance. Okay, so kind of my both my scenarios played out, because we came in, reacted, and then of course we're still coming in higher. If I just objectively look at the price, there was a 4-hourly trend change up. What caused it? It's the low. So the big thing about this one is to ask again, is this like daily pullback enough to push the market down, or are we gonna push in a little bit deeper? Because that currently where we're looking at right now is a daily push in a daily pullback. Again, don't forget that we're taking in massive liquidity down there, right? And right now I'm just not gonna break the 50-minute time frame because it's a mess. I don't know why I keep breaking UCAT, but I keep doing it for you guys, right? So we have a trend change up right there. The zone is technically the low. So how do you draw your zone? Do you take it like this? Do you take it like this? Do you take it like this? This is your choice, right? So what you can look for, wait for the market to dip below 50%, all right? Give you a long and then go long. But again, is the bias really long? So the 4-hourly bias is longs. Why? Because we formed a 4-hourly trend change. That's the low, that's the high. We already pulled back below 50%. Okay, so definitely we can start heading towards this high right there of liquidity. So let's see. I'm having an overall bullish outlook on UCAD, but again, I never get this pair right. So listen to your own analysis. GU is definitely in the pullback mode. So one of my thoughts was, okay, we pull back or we keep pushing up, or we initiate like a bigger pullback. And as you can see, we are initiating a bigger pullback for sure. But the last valid range is this guy. So what we're doing right now, filling in all the imbalance and pulling back a bit deeper. If I also check out the daily time frame, well, yeah, I mean, you can have a look at this daily range, or you can also have a look at this daily range, right? They're slightly bit different. Pretty much that is a golden zone for a pullback right there. And yeah, you can see we're filling it all of that 4-hourly imbalance right now. So definitely still bearish. You can see CPI came in today, liquidated up, and right now we're just massively flushing lower. Is EU following through? Oh, did we just miss the long on EU? Nah, it was way too fast. Yeah, it came in, grabbed, but then the TC was here. The TC was there and you can't really get in right there. 8 pip stop loss. Okay. But yeah, you can see, guys, TC up, retested, boom, exploding. But it's strange that GU is flushing down right now. So again, not amazing. The last valid range on GU is this. So again, with the bias being short, you can wait for a pullback and you can go towards the lows all the way towards the 4-hourly low. So there is my outlook on GU. I mean, that is not really a 4-hourly low because it's not valid, right? The valid one is still here, right? Those are all internal. So let's see if we're going to be attacking the internal one and if we're going to be getting any pullback towards the highs and then take a short. So short bias on GU. GJ is probably going to be 50-50 because if the JPYs are bullish, but GU is bearish right now, this one is going to struggle. It hasn't yet broken the 4-hourly high, which is good. So we're pulling back right now. Just filled in that little bit of imbalance, reacted. But then the question is right now, is this enough to cause the market to push up? Well, it could be. But as you can see right now, like that's the last 50-minute higher low formation. The market is tapping in, but again, it's coming way too high, taking out the Asian high. So taking a long from here, slightly bit dangerous. Okay, so watch out. But of course, you can be dropping to the 1 minute right now and looking for a long trade. But just be careful because again, liquidity is not on your side. We moved up, we took out buy side liquidity, we retested something on the left. So we could get a trend change down, take out all of these because there's a big fat trend line coming in right there. Take all of these lows, and then of course, as we start aligning bullish, then you can start looking for the longs. Okay, so that is GJ. Be careful with longs right there. I do suspect we could have a trend change down, and of course, what you just gotta have to wait for is for a trend change up to go with the macro bias. Okay, so watch out on that one. Wow, look at the euro GBP. Whoa. Let's check out gold. I mean, gold has been tricky. Well, somebody told me gold is gonna explode massively, I think. Well, I don't see it exploding massively. It's coming in deeper inside this demand zone. So let's see. It's tapping into demand, but it is bearish because we had a 4-hourly bearish alignment here, a 4-hourly bearish break here, 4-hourly bearish break there, and this one is not really a break. So as you can see, guys, structure is key, right? Don't tell me longs or shorts or this or that. Structure is bearish, the market goes bearish. Right now, it's tapping inside on old demand. So is it going to respect? I don't know, but the 4-hourly time frame is still bearish. That is the last 4-hourly break structure. And if I just jump on the 50-minute, yeah. So guys, I'm really not looking to trade this. Yesterday, the days before, took out the low, took out the high, continued. You can see, guys, so just pure liquidity. Took out Asian low, boom. So if you take a short from here, not high probable because it comes in, takes out the Asian high, and then it drops. Right here, took out the Asian high first, then you wait for a 50-minute TC down, and then there is your short. Right, so that's what I go trading with the liquidity and something that I keep working on right now. But just looking at this, I am not confident in this because technically, like the 50-minute high is here, but we have like a massive range down. And right now it's just chopping, so of course it can go down. If it goes down, then of course I keep following it. But of course from here it can go up, fill in the imbalance, and then go down. Okay, so gold right now, sketchy. I mean, yesterday you got the short, like Asian high got taken. We got a 50-minute TC alignment, pulls back into the supply, and then it drops. Okay, so right now, not nice, not clear. US30. Let's check it out. It's pulling back into this major demand zone. It filled in all the imbalance. So right now the question is, okay, are we ready to go up? So analysis played out perfectly. Really loving the way we analyze right now with liquidity as well. So right now what we got to be waiting for is either for 4-hourly alignment, right? Or for like a 50-minute very nice bullish order flow, which we don't have yet because the last valid range is from here to here. That's the last valid 50-minute lower high, 50-minute lower low, and we're chopping. Okay, so what I will do is I wait. I wait for a bullish push and a retest, right? Or for the continuation to the downside. So what I see is that there is a little bit of a bearish flow on the indices right now. You can see NASDAQ is the strongest index of all. It's not pushing down that strong and it's actually very choppy right now. So my analysis still remains the same because there is nothing different, right? And then if you just jump in on the 50-minute time frame, of course, we have the manipulations up and down, up and down, up and down. Yesterday was quite major, right? So right now, technically similar to US30, that is the major high right there, and that is the major low on the 50-minute time frame. So it's chopping. So on indices right now, I don't have really any macro bias at play, although you can see like it's filled in that 4-hourly imbalance right there. So it could start heading higher, but first I need to see like a setup, which we don't have right now. I took a loss Yesterday, I just got home and I just checked my phone on New York Stock Exchange Open, and there was a long trade, which I took from here, something like this on the 1 minute. Stop loss was below, was something like that. I was targeting the highs, but it came in, and then of course I went doing something else, and then I missed the actual move, and pretty much my target being this. Okay, so again, another proof: if you're just on the way, if you're not on your chart on your computer, don't trade. Took it from the phone. Luckily, it was like with lower lot sizes. But yeah, just took a loss. And yes, right now again you can see all the imbalance is filled. The market is already kind of pulling back towards this very nice, which is probably like an 8-hourly demand zone. There it is, tapped inside, filled in the imbalance. So right now we can start expecting longs. Of course, when it comes to the daily time frame still has more space to pull back towards the down. So you can see 50% is not tapped yet, right? So let's see. Again, it's 50-50. We can definitely go higher because the most recent fall imbalance is filled. We got a nice reaction. So if you start getting like a nice, so for example, today, maybe take out the low, then we can of course start heading into the highs. So of course, macro indices are bullish, but of course right now on the more on the micro or more like on the hourly play, we can of course have that pullback, which we forecasted already. So the question is this pullback enough, or are we going to head even lower to filling daily imbalances? Which I think, yeah, this is the daily imbalance right there that we could definitely fill, which is below the daily 50%, right? Because if that's the daily low, that's the daily high. There it is. Imbalance below daily pip. So let's see. Crypto. Oh, look at that, man. I really wish I bought, because guys, if you remember, I was telling 25k tapped in, and it's massively running. So very, very, very nice. Very nice. I have some 2 or 3k worth of Bitcoin, so I might sell it, right? But yeah, let's see for how long it keeps going and if it's gonna be attacking that weak high. Ethereum fails to follow through. Bitcoin is, I do think it's moving quite nicely right now. So yes, guys, I mean, let's see. Still, as I told you at the beginning, not very clear when it comes to hourly buys. You can see Dixie is ranging right now what it wants to do. Does it want to go down? Does it want to go up? Don't know. EURUSD right now starting with some very nice bullish flow. Took out Asian low, so of course longs were high probability. Fortunately, damn, man, this was a very good set and forget approach, but I was doing the analysis. Could have taken this one. Well, it is what it is. Let's let it go. Wait for the next one. Euro Yen massively pumping up, about to take out the high. Aussie USD choppy. I don't like it. AJ, you can see, as I told you, the short probably not gonna work out. Very weak. USD CAD longs, USD JPY longs, GU shorts right now because of CPI, probably heading towards this lower low. Gold wait, especially today. So yeah, I mean, gonna be flowing with the markets right now. Let's see if we can take like another long on EU, or is it gonna come into attack like a liquidity point right now without even pulling back. So yes, guys, that is from me for today. Again, just to recap, not very clear. I'm not loving the market, but of course, last week was good for me. So this week I just took one little loss yesterday. We still have Thursday and Friday to go because Monday and Tuesday were not very good, and I see momentum starting to kick in right now. So I'm pretty confident later today, tomorrow, and on Friday we're going to be getting some trades. So yeah, stay tuned for more videos. I'm currently working on the revamp for my private program. Some amazing things rolling, and once I'm done with this, once I'm done with my graduation defense and ceremony and everything, then I'm going to be getting into more content creation for you guys. So take care and talk to you on Saturday.